Welcome back to English Pronounce Pro. Today, we tackle word memorization.
Yes, it's a key part of fluency. Many find remembering new words hard.
Why is memorizing words so crucial?
A strong vocabulary boosts communication. It helps you express complex thoughts.
Does it also build confidence?
Absolutely, confidence grows with words. You speak more smoothly and naturally.
How does it affect understanding?
It improves comprehension significantly. Reading and listening become easier.
So, it's foundational for learners?
Yes, it underpins all language skills. Expand your word bank constantly.
Many people struggle with this. What are common frustrations?
Forgetting new words is a big one. Learners feel frustrated quickly.
Is feeling overwhelmed also common?
Yes, the sheer volume can intimidate. They don't know where to begin.
What about the learning process itself?
It often feels like a slow grind. Progress seems very hard to see.
So, they lose motivation then?
Exactly, consistent effort feels difficult. We need better, smarter strategies.
You mentioned smarter strategies. What is active versus passive learning?
Passive learning is just reading lists. You might highlight words in a book.
And active learning is different?
Active learning engages your brain more. It involves using the words yourself.
Could you give an example?
Creating sentences with new words is active. So is debating their meanings aloud.
Why does active learning win out?
It builds stronger memory pathways. Your brain processes information deeply.
So, passive methods are less effective?
They show weaker short-term recall. Active involvement ensures better retention.
Active learning sounds important. How does context fit into this?
Using words in sentences is key. Isolated words are harder to recall.
Why is context so powerful?
It provides meaning and relevance. The word isn't just a random string.
Should I find words in real texts?
Yes, read articles or listen to podcasts. See how words naturally connect.
What about creating my own contexts?
That's a fantastic active learning method. Write sentences or short stories.
Does context help pronunciation too?
It helps with natural rhythm and flow. Words change sound in different phrases.
So, avoid rote memorization then?
Yes, always integrate words naturally. Their environment gives them life.
Context is crucial for understanding. What about repetition? Is it fundamental?
Absolutely. Repetition is non-negotiable. It moves words from short to long-term memory.
But not just repeating mindlessly.
No, structured, consistent review is vital. Space out your repetitions over time.
What's a good frequency for review?
Review new words after a day. Then again after a few days.
And then again later?
Yes, weekly, then monthly is effective. This reinforces the memory trace.
Does active recall count as repetition?
Indeed, testing yourself is repetition. It strengthens neural connections directly.
So, consistency over quick bursts?
Always regular small efforts yield more. Build it into your daily routine.
Repetition is clearly essential. Does my learning style matter?
Knowing your learning style is powerful. It helps you choose effective methods.
What are the main styles?
There are visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Most people have a mix of these.
How does a visual learner benefit?
They remember things they see best. Using images or diagrams helps them.
And an auditory learner?
Auditory learners prefer hearing words. Listening to podcasts or speaking aloud works.
What about kinesthetic learners?
They learn by doing or feeling. Writing words physically can help them.
So, I should adapt my methods?
Yes, tailor strategies to your strengths. This makes learning much more efficient.
Learning styles are important. What about setting realistic goals?
Small, achievable goals build momentum. Don't try to learn 100 words in a day.
What is a realistic goal then?
Maybe 3 to 5 new words daily is good. Focus on consistent, steady progress.
Why is this approach better?
It prevents burnout and discouragement. You see progress without overwhelm.
Should goals be specific?
Yes, set clear and measurable goals. Learn 5 words is better than learn words.
And should I track my progress?
Definitely, tracking shows your achievement. It boosts motivation significantly over time.
So, keep goals small and consistent. What about making mistakes?
Embrace them. They are part of learning. Mistakes highlight areas for improvement.
So, don't be afraid to try.
Never hesitate to use new words. Even if you get them slightly wrong.
How do mistakes help us learn?
They create stronger memory links. Your brain remembers the correction better.
Should I correct myself immediately?
Yes, self-correction reinforces learning. Listen to feedback from others too.
So, avoid perfectionism at first.
Precisely, focus on progress, not perfection. Fluency comes with consistent effort.
Mistakes are part of growth. Should I start with high-frequency words?
Yes, absolutely prioritize these words. They form the backbone of daily English.
Why are they so important?
You will encounter them constantly. They unlock a lot of general understanding.
Are there lists of high-frequency words?
Yes, look for the Oxford 3000 list. Also, Common English Words resources.
Does this help build a base quickly?
It rapidly expands your comprehension. You'll feel more effective right away.
So, focus on common words first?
Yes, they provide maximum return on effort. This strategy builds a strong foundation.
High-frequency words make sense. How does pronunciation link to memory?
Pronouncing words helps embed them deeply. It creates an auditory memory trace.
So, say the words aloud?
Yes, speak them clearly and confidently. Even if you are just by yourself.
Does hearing my own voice help?
It reinforces the connection in your brain. You use more senses for learning.
What about difficult pronunciations?
Practice them even more diligently. Break them down into smaller sounds.
So, sound is crucial for recall?
Indeed, it adds another layer to memory. It makes words feel more tangible.
Pronunciation clearly helps retention. Is consistency more important than intensity?
Absolutely, regular practice always wins. Short daily sessions are highly effective.
Why is consistency better?
It builds a habit and prevents overwhelm. Learning becomes a natural part of your day.
So, avoid cramming sessions?
Yes, cramming leads to quick forgetting. It's inefficient for long-term memory.
How long should daily sessions be?
Even 15 to 20 minutes a day is powerful. What matters is showing up consistently.
So, daily effort compounds over time?
Exactly, small efforts add up to big gains. This builds sustainable learning habits.
Consistency is the real key then. How can I make learning enjoyable?
Find methods that suit your interests. Learning should not feel like a chore.
Could I use games or apps?
Yes, many apps make vocabulary fun. Gamification can be very motivating.
What if I like reading?
Read books or articles on topics you love. Engage with the words actively there.
What about music or movies?
That's a great way to encounter words. Note new words from lyrics or dialogue.
So, integrate it into my hobbies?
Yes, make it a natural fun extension. Enjoyment boosts engagement and memory.
Making it fun improves motivation. Should I connect new words to prior knowledge?
Yes, relate new words to known concepts. It makes them easier to absorb.
How does this connection help?
It anchors the new information firmly. You're building on existing brain networks.
Could I think of synonyms or antonyms?
That's a superb strategy for connections. It broadens your understanding of the word.
What about words in my native language?
Sometimes finding cognates helps a lot. But beware of false friends, of course.
So, link new to old information?
Yes, build a web of interconnected knowledge. This creates a robust mental dictionary.
Connecting to prior knowledge is clever. What about understanding word parts?
Learning prefixes, suffixes, and roots aids meaning. Many English words share common parts.
Could you give an example?
The prefix undash means not or opposite. Think unhappy or unbelievable.
What about suffixes then?
Tie-in often indicates a noun form, like action or information, for instance.
And word roots are important too.
Roots carry core meaning across words. Port means to carry, as in transport.
Does this help with unfamiliar words?
Yes, you can often guess meanings better. It empowers you to decode new vocabulary.
So, breaking words down helps?
Absolutely, it's a powerful comprehension tool. It makes intimidating words manageable.
So breaking words down is a great start. What comes next in our toolkit for retention?
Building on that, let's talk about effective tools. We'll dive into practical methods right now.
Fantastic. Where should we begin with tools?
Many find flashcards incredibly useful for new words.
Ah, flashcards. Are we talking about physical ones?
Both physical and digital versions have their merits. The key is using them strategically.
What makes a flashcard effective for memorizing?
Beyond just the word and definition, add more. Include the part of speech and a simple example sentence.
So, not just rote memorization then?
Exactly. Focus on active recall, not passive reading. Try to recall the meaning before flipping the card.
Should I write my own example sentences?
Definitely. Personalized examples are more memorable. They create a stronger connection for your brain.
What about physical cards versus digital options?
Physical cards offer a tactile experience. You can shuffle them and feel the progress.
And digital ones, what's their main benefit?
Digital flashcards are incredibly convenient. They are accessible anywhere on your device.
So, convenience versus the tactile experience.
Precisely. Choose what suits your learning style. Both methods demand consistent engagement.
What if I struggle with a particular word on a flashcard?
Mark it for more frequent review sessions. Don't just put it back in the stack randomly.
Any other tips for creating good flashcards?
Consider adding a small, simple drawing or symbol. Visual cues enhance memory retrieval significantly.
That sounds like a good way to reinforce meaning.
Yes, it links the word to an image in your mind. Keep the drawings basic and quick to sketch.
So, flashcards are more than just a quick glance.
They are a powerful tool when used thoughtfully. Consistent practice is always the foundation.
Speaking of consistent practice, that leads to SRS. How do spaced repetition systems fit in?
SRS platforms optimize your review schedule. They show you words right when you might forget them.
That sounds very scientific and efficient.
It leverages the forgetting curve theory effectively. Anki is a prime example of an SRS application.
How does Anki decide when to show me words?
Its algorithm tracks your recall performance. If you remember easily, it schedules it for later.
And if I struggle with a word?
Presents that word more frequently to you. This targets your specific weak points directly.
Are there other popular SRS tools besides Anki?
Quizlet also offers spaced repetition features. Many language learning apps integrate SRS principles.
So, it's not just for flashcards then?
Correct. It applies to any item you need to memorize. From vocabulary to historical dates, it works.
Isn't SRS difficult to set up initially?
There's a small learning curve, but it's worth it. Many tutorials are available online to guide you.
How does SRS compare to just reviewing all cards?
It prevents wasted time on words you already know. It prioritizes the words you need to strengthen.
So it makes the review process much smarter?
Absolutely. It's an intelligent way to learn efficiently. This maximizes your retention over time.
That makes sense for long-term memory building.
Using SRS makes memorization sustainable and effective. It really reinforces vocabulary over months and years.
Once we're using SRS, how about creating real sentences? What's the best way to do that for new words?
Building on organized review, create personal sentences. This solidifies the word's meaning in your experience.
What's the difference between personal and generic examples?
Personal examples relate to your own life directly. They involve your hobbies, friends, or daily activities.
So, if I learn the word ubiquitous,
You might say, smartphones are ubiquitous in modern society. Or, My cat's fur is ubiquitous on all my clothes.
The cat example is much more relatable.
Precisely. Relatability makes words stickier for you. It connects the new word to existing memory pathways.
How many sentences should I create per word?
Even one strong personal sentence is very helpful. If you can, try 2 or 3 for deeper understanding.
Should I write them down or just think of them?
Writing them down reinforces the learning process. It also gives you a record to review later.
Does creating sentences help with grammar too?
Yes, it naturally makes you consider syntax. You think about how the word functions in a sentence.
So it's practicing usage, not just meaning?
Exactly. You're actively applying the vocabulary. This moves it from passive knowledge to active use.
Any common mistakes to avoid when creating sentences?
Avoid overly complex or unnatural sentence structures. Keep them simple, clear, and focused on the new word.
This sounds like a very practical application technique.
It moves beyond mere definition towards practical use. This is crucial for true fluency development.
That active application is so important. What about adding visual aids and imagery to words?
Connecting words to visuals is incredibly powerful. Our brains remember images far better than plain text.
So, like drawing a small picture on a flashcard?
Yes, that's a great starting point for visual learning. Even a simple stick figure can make a difference.
What if I'm not a good artist at all?
Artistic talent isn't necessary for this technique. The goal is the mental association, not a masterpiece.
Can I use actual pictures instead of drawing?
Absolutely. Find an image online that represents it. Save it alongside the word in your notes or app.
How does that really help with memory recall?
When you recall the word, your brain fetches the image. This creates multiple pathways to retrieve the meaning.
So it's like a mental shortcut for the word?
Certainly can be. It makes the word more vivid. Imagine Garrulus with a cartoon mouth talking endlessly.
That's a very clear mental image indeed.
Or ephemeral with a picture of a fading flower. These images stick much longer than abstract concepts.
What if a word has no clear visual representation?
Try to connect it to an abstract symbol or a feeling. For serendipity, maybe a picture of a lucky 4-leaf clover.
So, it's about making a personal visual link.
Yes, whatever image resonates most strongly with you. The more personal, the more effective it becomes.
This seems like a fun way to engage with new words.
It definitely adds a creative dimension to learning. Making learning enjoyable improves consistency.
Beyond simple images, can we create stories? I'm thinking of mnemonic devices and memory tricks.
Building on visual thinking, mnemonics are fantastic. They are memory aids that make information memorable.
What are some common types of mnemonics?
Acronyms and acrostics are popular methods. Think of Roy G. Biv for the colors of the rainbow.
So, a phrase or word from the first letters.
Exactly. Or creating a silly sentence from them. The more bizarre or funny, the better it works.
Can you give an example for a difficult word?
For ameliorate, to make better, imagine a melody orates. It makes a bad situation much more pleasant.
That's certainly memorable, if a bit whimsical.
Whimsicality is key for mnemonic effectiveness. It helps your brain latch onto the new information.
What about creating entire stories for words?
The story method links multiple words or concepts. You weave them into a short, imaginative narrative.
So, if I had a few words, I'd build a tale around them?
Yes. Imagine benevolent, gregarious, and sagacious. You could envision a benevolent, gregarious, sagacious old man.
That ties them together in a memorable context.
The story provides a framework for easy recall. It transforms isolated words into interconnected ideas.
Is there a limit to how many words a mnemonic can handle?
For single words, simple links are best. Stories can handle more, but keep them concise.
So, mnemonics are about creative association?
They are all about making strong, sometimes absurd links. These connections bypass typical memory blocks.
This certainly adds an element of fun to learning.
Engagement and enjoyment significantly boost retention. Making it a game makes the task less daunting.
Beyond surface associations, what about word origins? Exploring etymology seems like a deeper dive.
Yes, after creative links, delve into etymology. Understanding word origins provides deep insight.
How does knowing where a word comes from help?
It often reveals its core meaning and historical context. Many English words have Latin or Greek roots.
Can you give an example of a common root?
Take scrib or script, meaning to write. We see it in scribble, prescription, manuscript.
So, learning one root unlocks many words?
Exactly. It's like learning a vocabulary family. You understand the underlying concept for several terms.
What about prefixes and suffixes?
They are also crucial components of etymology. Undish means not, Reach means again. Ology is study of.
So, unbelievable means not believable?
Precisely. Breaking words down this way empowers you. You can often deduce the meaning of new words.
Where can I find information about word etymology?
Many online dictionaries include etymological notes. Specialized etymology dictionaries are also available.
Does this help with understanding nuances of meaning?
Yes, the original meaning often clarifies current usage. It adds depth to your comprehension of vocabulary.
So, it's not just memorizing, it's understanding.
It builds a robust internal lexicon, truly comprehensive. This makes your vocabulary knowledge much more resilient.
Etymology builds a strong foundation. What about grouping words by theme for better recall?
After understanding origins, group words thematically. This creates a semantic network in your brain.
What exactly does thematically mean here?
It means categorizing words by a common subject. For example, words about travel, food, or emotions.
So, I'd gather all travel-related words together?
Yes, itinerary, destination, expedition, journey. Learning them together reinforces their connections.
How does this differ from word families?
Word families share a root. Thematic groups share a concept. A thematic group might include different parts of speech.
Can I choose my own themes?
Absolutely. Your interest can guide your themes. If you love cooking, group all cooking-related words.
Does this help with activating specific vocabulary?
Yes, when you think of a topic, associated words surface. It makes retrieving relevant vocabulary much faster.
So it organizes my mental dictionary?
It certainly does. It prevents words from being isolated. This helps build a more interconnected vocabulary system.
Are there any downsides to this approach?
Just ensure groups aren't too large to be manageable. Smaller, focused clusters are generally more effective.
This sounds like a very intuitive way to learn.
Our brains naturally categorize information this way. You're leveraging natural cognitive processes.
From thematic grouping, let's explore word families. How do they help expand our vocabulary?
Beyond thematic groups, word families are essential. These are words stemming from a common base or root.
So, like different forms of the same idea?
Precisely. Think of educate, verb, education, noun. Also, educational, adjective, educator, noun.
Learning one word can unlock several, then.
Absolutely. You grasp multiple parts of speech easily. This dramatically expands your usable vocabulary.
How do I identify these word families?
Many dictionaries list related forms with the main entry. Look for common suffixes that change word function.
Like tions for nouns or bulls for adjectives.
Exactly. Recognizing these patterns is incredibly powerful. It makes word formation predictable and understandable.
Does this improve my understanding of grammar too?
Yes, you learn how words transform grammatically. It helps you correctly use them in various sentences.
So it's not just knowing the word, but its usage?
It connects form and function, which is critical. This moves you closer to fluent, accurate expression.
What if a word doesn't seem to have many family members?
Some words are less prolific, that's fine. Focus on the ones that offer rich derivations.
This seems like a very systematic way to build vocabulary.
It's a highly efficient method for expansion. You gain leverage by learning clusters of words.
That leverage is definitely appealing. How about synonym and antonym mapping for new words?
Expanding on families, map synonyms and antonyms. This deepens understanding through comparison and contrast.
So, I'd find words similar and opposite in meaning?
Yes. For jubilant, you might list ecstatic, elated, joyful. Then for antonyms, dejected, despondent, gloomy.
How does this help me remember the new word?
It creates a semantic web, connecting new to known words. You understand its position within a spectrum of meaning.
So, I'm not learning it in isolation?
Correct. Isolation makes words harder to recall. Connections provide multiple retrieval cues for your brain.
Should I use a thesaurus for this?
A good thesaurus is an excellent resource for this. However, always cross-reference with the dictionary.
Why cross-reference with a dictionary?
Synonyms rarely have identical meanings in all contexts. Check for subtle differences in connotation and usage.
That makes sense. Slight differences are important.
Yes, happy and ecstatic convey different intensities. Understanding this precision elevates your expression.
Are there limits to how many synonyms and antonyms I should find?
Aim for 2 to 5 strong, relevant examples initially. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many variations.
This seems like a smart way to refine my vocabulary.
It enhances your word choice and expressive power. You gain a richer understanding of each word's scope.
That depth is really beneficial. Next, active dictionary use. What does that entail?
Beyond passive reference, engage actively with dictionaries. Go beyond just the first definition you encounter.
So, I should dig deeper than a quick lookup?
Absolutely. Explore all definitions, not just the primary one. Many words have multiple meanings depending on context.
And what about example sentences in the dictionary?
Pay close attention to every example sentence provided. They illustrate correct usage and common collocations.
What are collocations exactly?
Collocations are words that frequently go together naturally, like heavy rain or make a decision.
So, I shouldn't just say strong rain?
Precisely. Learning collocations makes your English sound natural. It helps you avoid awkward or incorrect phrasing.
Are online dictionaries better for this active use?
Online dictionaries often offer audio pronunciation. They can also link to synonyms, antonyms, and etymology.
So they offer a more integrated learning experience.
Yes, they provide a wealth of interconnected information. This enriches your understanding far beyond a basic lookup.
Should I keep a record of what I find?
Definitely. Note down key definitions, examples, collocations. This reinforces the learning and creates a personal reference.
This sounds like a thorough approach to words.
It transforms dictionary use into a powerful learning tool. It encourages deeper engagement with each new word.
That deeper engagement is key for retention. What about vocabulary notebooks or journals then?
Building on active dictionary use, keep a notebook. A personalized vocabulary journal is highly effective.
Physical notebook or digital document?
Either works based on your preference for record keeping. The benefit comes from the act of creation itself.
What should I include for each new word?
The word, its definition, part of speech, and pronunciation. Also, one or two personal example sentences.
What else can I add to make it more useful?
Include synonyms, antonyms, and relevant collocations. Even a small visual cue or mnemonic device if applicable.
So, it's a central hub for all word information?
Exactly. It's your personal, comprehensive word database. This active organization strengthens memory pathways.
Does reviewing the notebook help?
Regularly reviewing your journal is absolutely crucial. It reinforces your learning and refreshes your memory.
Should I organize it in a particular way?
Alphabetical order or by theme are common choices. Choose a system that makes sense and is easy for you.
This sounds like a very personal and structured method.
It allows for deep, focused engagement with vocabulary. The act of writing helps solidify the information.
It's like building my own reference book.
That's a great analogy. It's truly a bespoke learning asset. Backslash.
So, moving from techniques, how do we apply words daily?
A common idea is a daily word challenge.
Introduce one new word each day.
Exactly. Integrate it into your thoughts.
Does that really work for everyone?
Not always. It can feel like a chore.
What if the word isn't relevant?
That's a problem. Forced relevance feels unnatural.
And remembering it later is tough.
Superficial exposure doesn't build deep connections.
So, it's not truly retained?
Often not. It floats away quickly.
How do we prevent that struggle?
Choose words tied to your immediate environment.
That makes sense for daily objects.
Or concepts in your work life.
What if I forget to pick one?
Inconsistency is the biggest hurdle.
It sounds like a high-pressure commitment.
It can be. Flexibility helps.
What about low-stakes discovery, backslash? That flexibility sounds good.
Yes, it helps avoid pressure.
We've talked about many strategies.
Indeed, for boosting fluency.
What about challenges, though?
Good point. Challenges are common.
Like forgetting words you learned.
That's a very common concern.
Is it normal to forget words?
Absolutely, it's totally normal.
Why does that happen?
It's part of the forgetting curve.
The brain's natural process?
Yes, it sifts information.
So, don't get discouraged.
Never. It's a phase.
How can we fight it then?
Focus on active recall practice.
What does that entail?
Actively retrieving words from memory.
Instead of just recognizing them?
Precisely. Make your brain work.
Any specific techniques?
Spaced intervals really help.
Regular spaced repetition?
Yes, over longer periods.
That sounds effective.
It solidifies memory pathways.
So, embracing forgetting is key.
It signals when to review.
What if motivation dips?
Motivation ebbs and flows.
How to reignite enthusiasm?
Reconnect with your initial purpose.
Why did I start learning?
Exactly. Find your why.
And new angles for learning?
Introduce novelty to your routine.
Such as new types of materials?
Or try gamification for words.
Like language learning games?
Yes, make it engaging.
Could a partner help?
Absolutely. Learning partners share energy.
They provide social support?
And introduce mini challenges together.
That sounds less solitary.
It adds a fun, competitive edge.
How about setting small rewards?
Positive reinforcement works wonders.
So, small wins for motivation.
They fuel continued effort.
Okay, I can try that.
Keep it fresh and purposeful.
Next, breaking through plateaus.
Ah, the dreaded learning plateaus.
They feel stuck sometimes.
It's a signal to adjust strategy.
How do I know what to adjust?
Start with some diagnostic testing.
To pinpoint weak areas?
Yes, then do error analysis.
Understand my common mistakes?
Precisely find patterns.
Then seek new materials?
Yes, for challenging content.
What kind of content?
Perhaps academic papers or technical articles.
More difficult vocabulary?
Exactly, push your boundaries.
And diversifying methods?
Try immersion activities more often.
Like listening-only podcasts?
Or even watching foreign films.
Without subtitles initially?
Yes, to truly test comprehension.
That would be a challenge.
It forces deeper processing.
So, don't fear the plateau.
See it as a growth opportunity.
Moving on to time management.
Time management is crucial.
Integrating learning into busy schedules?
Even micro-learning sessions help.
What are micro-learning sessions?
Short focus bursts of study.
Like 5 minutes on a commute?
Exactly, or while waiting.
Does time blocking help?
Yes, dedicate specific slots.
Even if they're short?
Even short, consistent blocks are powerful.
Prioritizing my learning?
Use a priority matrix to decide.
What about flexibility then?
Be flexible with your schedule.
If I miss a slot?
Reschedule, don't abandon it.
Any other tips for integration?
Try habit stacking with existing routines.
Pairing learning with a daily habit?
Yes, like after morning coffee.
That makes it automatic.
It reduces decision fatigue.
So, small, consistent efforts count.
They accumulate significantly over time.
Next, avoiding perfectionism.
The perfectionism trap is common.
Focusing on progress, not flawlessness.
Absolutely embrace mistakes.
Mistakes are part of learning.
They are valuable feedback.
How do I shift that mindset?
Focus on iterative improvement.
Small steps forward?
Yes, consistent small changes.
Not aiming for perfect speech?
Focus on clear communication instead.
Meaning understanding and being understood?
Exactly, that's the primary goal.
How to track this progress?
Use simple progress indicators.
Like number of words learned?
Or successful conversations.
Setting realistic expectations helps.
Crucially, be kind to yourself.
So, no striving for an impossible ideal.
Progress not perfect is the motto.
Celebrating small wins.
Yes, acknowledge every step.
It boosts motivation, right?
It's essential positive reinforcement.
How often should I celebrate?
Whenever you hit a milestone.
Like mastering a new grammar point?
Or holding a short conversation.
Even small efforts matter?
Acknowledge every effort you make.
How can I do that concretely?
Perhaps by journaling your successes.
Writing down what went well?
Yes, and how it felt.
Can I share achievements?
Definitely share them with others.
To get external validation?
And inspire other learners too.
That feels good.
It solidifies your progress mentally.
It makes the journey more enjoyable.
And sustainable for the long run.
What about an accountability partner?
An accountability partner is excellent.
How do they help?
You set mutual learning goals.
Someone to share the journey with?
Yes, offering peer support.
How do we keep each other on track?
Schedule regular check-ins.
To discuss progress and challenges?
Precisely, and brainstorm solutions.
Do we study together?
You can, or just motivate each other.
Can they give constructive feedback?
Yes, on speaking or writing.
That's a real benefit.
A shared learning journey lessens isolation.
It makes it more engaging.
And adds an extra layer of commitment.
It sounds very supportive.
Truly makes a difference.
Diverse learning resources next.
Expanding resources enriches learning.
Beyond textbooks and online apps?
Yes, dive into authentic materials.
Like what examples?
News articles, blogs, documentaries.
What about specific subjects?
Seek subject-specific vocabulary resources.
If I'm interested in science?
Read science journals in English.
Are there interactive exercises?
Many online platforms offer them.
Beyond just quizzes?
Look for interactive simulations.
What about online communities?
Join forums or social groups.
To practice with native speakers?
Or participate in virtual exchanges.
That sounds engaging.
Variety keeps your brain active.
And prevents boredom too.
Exactly, explore widely.
Adjusting strategies as needed.
Flexibility is paramount for learning.
My approach might change?
Yes, continuous experimentation is key.
How do I know when to change?
Adapt to feedback from your progress.
And my own personal experience?
Absolutely, personalize your learning.
So, it's not a fixed path?
No, it's an iterative adjustment.
Like a dynamic learning plan?
Precisely, constantly evolving.
What if a method stops working?
Don't be afraid to switch it up.
Even if it was effective before?
Your needs change over time.
So, stay open to new ways.
Embrace the journey of discovery.
Long-term review schedules.
Maintaining vocabulary needs a plan.
Beyond initial learning?
Yes, systematic review prevents decay.
How is that different from spaced repetition?
It's more about a maintenance schedule.
For words I already know well?
Yes, to keep them active.
What does that schedule look like?
It could be weekly or monthly.
Just quick checks?
Brief re-exposure techniques help.
Like using words in sentences?
Or quick synonym matching.
Is it a lot of work?
Not if it's scheduled recall.
Integrate it into my routine?
Small, consistent efforts keep words fresh.
So, don't stop reviewing.
Long-term retention is the goal.
Building a sustainable routine.
Sustainable routines are powerful.
Small, consistent efforts accumulate.
They are incredibly effective.
What is a minimal viable effort?
The smallest amount you can do daily.
Without feeling overwhelmed?
Yes, ensure consistent engagement.
So, just 5 to 10 minutes a day?
That's a perfect low barrier entry.
And make it seamless?
Integrate it smoothly into your day.
So it becomes automatic?
Exactly, aim for automaticity.
Like brushing your teeth?
A daily, non-negotiable habit.
It won't feel like a chore?
It becomes a natural part.
This prevents burnout.
And builds lasting progress.
Refining pronunciation skills.
Pronunciation is core to clarity.
Always room for improvement?
Continuous refinement is beneficial.
Even after memorizing words?
Yes, correct sound reinforces meaning.
How to refine it?
Practice phonetic transcription.
Mapping sounds to symbols?
It clarifies sound production.
What about minimal pairs?
They highlight subtle sound differences.
Like bishop than sheep?
Precisely, very helpful drills.
Is accent reduction possible?
It's more about improving clarity.
And intonation practice?
Crucial for natural speech rhythm.
Speech shadowing helps.
Mimicking native speakers is excellent.
So, always keep practicing sounds.
Clear speech boosts confidence.
A continuous improvement mindset.
That's key for lifelong learning.
Always learning new things?
Yes, adopting a growth mindset.
Being open to new challenges?
And embracing adaptability.
Staying curious about the language?
Absolutely, curiosity fuels progress.
And learning agility is important?
Being able to pivot methods.
My methods might evolve?
They will as you grow.
So, constant evolution of methods.
It keeps learning engaging.
And relevant to my needs.
Precisely, a true journey.
Self-assessment regularly.
Checking progress is vital.
How do I identify weak spots?
Use diagnostic quizzes periodically.
Like vocabulary tests?
And also fluency tests.
To gauge my speaking flow?
Exactly, assess overall comfort.
Then perform a gap analysis?
Compare current skills to goals.
And focus on targeted practice?
Address those specific weaknesses.
Keep a learning log too?
Document what you're struggling with.
And what new words I'm learning?
It provides a clear record.
This makes learning very intentional.
It guides your next steps effectively.
So, consistent self-reflection is key.
It empowers you to take control.
This has been incredibly helpful.
I'm glad we explored these points.
We covered so much detail.
From tackling forgetting to long-term growth.
So many actionable tips.
It's all about consistent effort.
And staying motivated.
And adapting your approach.
What's the final message?
You have the power to excel.
To boost English fluency?
Yes, through diligent word mastery.
A journey worth taking.
Absolutely, for confident communication.
So, what should our listeners do now?
Take action on these strategies.
And engage with the channel?
Subscribe to English Pronounce Pro.
For more tips and guidance?
Yes, like this video too.
And leave a comment?
Share your favorite tip below.
We love hearing from you.
Keep learning, keep growing.
Thanks for joining us.
See you in the next one.